This is all very true.
Hey, lads. All right, I'm recording, I think. Let me check. Yeah, I'm recording.
All right. I'll go ahead and get started just to
Watch
save y'all
stream.
some time. All right. So welcome everybody to our basically annual info meeting. This is basically just going to be us talking about the structure of our club and what we have to offer. My name is Edward. I'm the president of the game development club here. And yeah, let's just get this going. So today we're just going to be talking about a little about like the club, who we are and what we have to offer. A little bit of the club layout, like how we plan to be managing the club this year. We have a few new things that'll be kind of exciting to introduce, as well as events that we have plans and events that we've done in the past that have historically been pretty successful. Then we'll have a little bit of spotlight time for some of our partner student organizations. We have a few guest speakers just to represent like some other clubs on campus. And our last section is going to be talking about something very new called the Best Practice Workshop. So that'll be really useful for some of you newer devs in designing teams and actually getting your games project started. So first about us, obviously, most of you probably already know we're a community of game developers. This club is made by students for students to develop games, and we try to support you in every way we can. We provide resources for both beginners and experienced developers, such as like we have by request, we have some assets that we can share with developers. And we also try to, like we said, we have some events that'll help supplement you guys learning how to develop your games. And we'll talk a little bit more of that in the future. Whether you want to make games in teams or on your own, we're here to help you. And we're here to help set you up with people to, do whatever you can to get something going. So what we can do for you guys is help you learn and grow your individual skills, teach you techniques for success, and provide you with development tools and additional resources, which will help you form compatible teams and network with like-minded peers. We have this thing called showcasing, which is kind of like an event, I guess, where essentially we will periodically be showing off the progress made on any projects being designed in our club. This is like multi-tiered purposes. The first is being that it's a regular check-in point to help ensure that you guys are progressing, that there are no hiccups in your development process. It also helps you guys with public speaking, because basically this is like a chance for you guys to talk about your games to a audience, kind of like this right now. It's you're just talking about your games and just seeing how people respond to it, how they feel about it. It's like a Q&A session. So it's really good for feedback, but it also helps you like develop those social skills. And so this is also just an opportunity to seek any additional support if necessary. If, say, you're in the middle of developing your game and you feel like, oh, we need another artist or something, you can kind of use it as like a pitching moment. So you can expect maybe like once every 2 weeks or so, somewhere during the middle semester, we'll be launching these. And we've done it historically in the past, and it's helped our developers kind of just to like get a good feel for like where their game's direction is going. Mentorships is kind of a new program that we're trying to start up. It's essentially just like a senior like position that we're offering to people who have more experience in game development. Mentors are supposed to help you guys who are newer, give you advice so that you don't fall into the same pitfalls of like game development that a lot of predecessors have done so in the past. So it also works along with the showcasing idea, where every few weeks you guys are going to meet with mentors from common disciplines, and they're going to give you advice on, let's say, if you're a programmer, maybe you need programming advice on like issues with your game or like the direction that it's going in. And so the mentors are there to kind of like tell you like, hey, this is, what you can expect if this is the problem you're doing. Or if you're trying to resolve this issue and you're trying to go in this direction, then the mentors with their experience will be able to tell you like, this might take you X amount of time, or, you might expect, or you might be able to use these resources that our mentors have found help them go through similar problems. And so we also have some events, a lot of different events offered at this club. The first being game jams. Historically in the past, we have participated in some game jams. At least some of our members have. And then we've also hosted game jams of our own, and we plan to do so again this year. For those of you that don't know, game jams are essentially just like hackathons, but for game development. So basically they're just like you're designing a game within a short span of time, like over just a weekend or over the span of a week or a month or something like that. And the point of it is usually that you're given a design or a theme, like repair, parallel, or like under the surface. It's just like some arbitrary like set of words. And you're supposed to make a game that kind of relates to that theme under a accelerated process, which helps to flex and hone your development skills and kind of show like, this is what I can do given the time restraints. So these are just good ways of like prototyping ideas and just making sure that you can do things under good time restraints. So they're really good for just getting cool, interesting, small projects out. We also have industry speakers. Every once in a while, we'll have industry speakers come into the club. We invite them, and then basically they do like Q&A panels or some other event. Just kind of like depends on who the speakers are. We've had people from like Unity come in. We've actually gone to the Unity office in the past, and I don't know if that's possible this year because of quarantine, but like, we're always looking out to do stuff like that. We've also had people from EA. We've had events with Discord before, CyberConnect 2, which is like a Japanese company, and Double Find. And so we're generally speaking always looking for industry speakers to come in and give advice on game development. And so if you guys are a part of the club, you can look forward to seeing stuff like that happen over the course of the year. So one of the big events that honestly I don't know if we'll be able to do this year, but I'm gonna list it anyways, is the Game Developers Conference. This is something that happens in the spring, and so that's really far away, but a lot of our budgeting works towards actually attending this event. It is essentially a conference for aspiring game developers to meet with people within the industry and just like kind of network, or just like attend specialized panels and learn about upcoming tools for development. And it's a really good opportunity to just see what it's like to exist in the game development industry. Historically, usually you have big players like Nintendo, Microsoft, or Unity attending these things. And so it might not happen this year. I'm not really sure because of Corona. But if it does, you can know for sure that we're planning to attend this. And in the past, we've financially supported these trips. Maybe not to 100% like your entire ticket off, but to some degree, we've been able to stipend some of the costs. And so if we're talking about social media a little, I'm just going to mention it briefly because we're already here, but we do everything on Discord. Basically all our event announcements, development support, team discussion, the whole shebang, everything is on Discord because it's a little bit more flexible than say Zoom. We can have more online discussions in text channels and such. And it's just a lot easier to have everything channeled into one server. And so that's about that. And if you haven't already, just follow us on our social media pages. We have a lot more other than just Facebook, Twitter. We have an itch.io as well.
Don't forget to follow our Twitch, twitch.tv/SJSU Game Dev.
Yeah. Twitch page, YouTube page, anything. If you just look up SJSU Game Dev, then it's probably one of our pages. So
follow our Twitch.
And so now we can talk about some other student organizations, starting with Spartan Gaming.
Hi guys, my name is Sandy. I'm from the Spartan Gaming Club. As you can tell from the slide, we are the general gaming club on campus. So we basically just play any games that you guys can think of. That our main games are usually like League of Legends, Valorant, Overwatch, PC games mainly. But if you guys ever like make a really good game that you guys want to share, you guys can feel free to share that in the Spartan Gaming channel as well. And maybe there'll be someone on there who would be willing to try out a game with you guys, because we do have more than 200 members. And since it is Corona time, there's a lot of more people that have been joining recently because they want to play new games and try something new out while they're all stuck indoors, We also have connections to the esports industry. So if you guys are interested in like pro gaming or anything like that, or know anyone who's interested in that, you can definitely refer them to our club. And the links, our socials, we also mainly use Discord as well. We have weekly in-houses where we try to get you guys to play with other people and have fun, just chill. No competitive gaming at all here. But we do have connections to that, like I said. There's their link right there. You can just type in invite.gg/Spartan Gaming into the browser, and that should take you to our Discord page. And I hope to see you guys there.
All right. We also got AR/VR Club. I don't believe we have a speaker for that right now, so I'll just go over it real quick. They're basically another club on campus, obviously for looking into AR/VR activities. Their first meeting is September 11th on Zoom. There's all your links and gobbledygooks. They offer VR and AR workshops, so you can learn how to use equipment and work on university projects. And in addition, you can even participate in hackathons, and I guess they're doing something for, COVID times. So there's that. Hey, do I have Cole here?
Yo, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks
the slides.
Yeah, can you share them to my my SJSU email?
Sure.
So I just so I can kind of take over it.
Okay.
Hello everyone. I'm Cole. I'm a digital media artist. I make games, of course. I'm also the treasurer for this club. Is anyone working on any games right now that they want to kind of briefly share about? And you can introduce yourself as well. I can start with me. I introduced myself already, but I'm working on a top-down pixel art game, and it's going to be an interactive storytelling game. So it's still an early idea, so I don't have much to share about that. Thank you, Edward. Okay, I'll pull up the slide real quick. Share it to my SJSU email.
You got it?
No, I didn't get it.
What? Okay, hold on.
Is there anyone who wants to get part of a team, perhaps, this semester? Is anyone kind of looking for that?
Me.
Kind of
yep.
ambitious?
Yeah.
Yeah? Andy?
I'm hyped.
Oh. Wait, who said that? I'm looking at all the names. Alright.
While we're setting things up, do we have any new members? Anyone want to speak?
Ooh, good question.
Am I a member already?
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping to use this as a little icebreaker anyway.
Oh, let's go.
Honestly, we're not strict on our membership. As long as you're around, you're basically a member. We don't have
Oh,
like,
perfect.
we don't make you pay unless you want. You know?
No paid subscription.
You have to pay me though.
No credit card details.
Well, yeah, we're gonna need that social security number, and we're gonna need your medical history.
I also wanted to join team.
And every game you make, we take 80% of the cut.
Actually.
We also need your social security number.
Sorry.
Of course.
You want to stream now, Cole?
Yeah, I can start.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop streaming then.
Wait, we're streaming? I just recorded the whole thing.
Oh, no. I mean, like, just screen sharing. Sorry.
Oh.
I am not streaming. I am not taking your job away.
You better not take my job away, you scummy villain.
Not yet, at least.
You scummy villain.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just automate it.
Alright. These attend Cole's live stream.
Cool. Okay. Well, I asked those questions because I mean that is kind of one of our biggest. That is the purpose of the club, right? Is to get, or I say one of the purposes is to get people who maybe are already working on a game or who want to work on a game, into a team, or at least provide some resources for them. This year we're doing something a little different. Historically, people would come to the club. We would have some events to kind of get people to meet each other and possibly start a game. We pretty much had a hands-off approach. We just kind of like, you make a game, you learn the ropes, figure it out, and then, maybe you make something. But this year we wanted to take a more, I guess, hands-on approach, we kind of wanted to, with some of the stuff we learned about making games, and kind of the pitfalls we've learned from, we wanted to have some kind of workshop that can help people who, again, already have a game or who are looking to form a team, make games, and not like fall through common pitfalls that we see. So this workshop is designed for any aspiring or experienced game developers who want to get practical experience in game development. And by practical, I mean, both professional experience, like working with tools that you will actually be using in either the coding industry, or if you actually wanted to make games for a living, like working with other people. So the purpose of this workshop is to give students a solid foundation for finishing ambitious games and working with teammates of diverse disciplines. I'm assuming you got, okay, never mind. That's all right. Yeah, so finishing ambitious games, don't take it the wrong way in that, whatever game idea you have, we will get you, we will help you finish it. Some games are too ambitious to make, and we'll talk about that. But with some of the topics that we're going to teach about and some of the tools, one of the premises of the one of the main features of the workshop is learning iterative design, and that's going to help us kind of solve problems early. And so basically, you're going to kind of be increasing your productivity and how much your team are communicating with each other, and so that will allow you to kind of explore more ambitious ideas and make something that is a challenge. Also, working with teammates of diverse disciplines. Obviously, as a center of the game development community, we're attracting programmers and artists. So we try to get kind of teams together in a multidisciplinary way. So ideally, there's a balance between artists and programmers. By the end of the workshop, members should be expected to learn how to create games using a flexible and iterative development process. Meaning the way you make games is not rigid. feedback and we messed up. It's kind of out what's wrong with the game as you go. I think someone's got a lot of feedback. Poker face, maybe.
You got a hot mic, poker face.
Oh, sorry. Hold up. Sorry.
It's all good. Polish games through play testing. So you'll learn the importance of that. It's easy to it's one thing making a game, but there's also the other side of actually getting people to play it and get their hands on it, and listening to their feedback. Because the more games you play, especially the indie games, you can tell a difference between a game that hasn't been play tested and play tested. Manage scope by prioritizing tasks. This is a big thing. Right? People who have been making games already know scope, the terrifying word of scope. Basically, the scope is what you want to do in total. Now, sometimes I can get out of control, and you have an awesome idea, and you just you want to do all kinds of stuff, and the scope gets too big. But we don't want to limit you from thinking big, but we also want you to be realistic. And we help you focus on, all right, I have this big, I have this idea. What's actually important that what needs to get done first? Also, we'll be teaching Trello and GitHub. So those are the two tools that we use. I will say, learning GitHub is going to be a big plus, especially for anyone who wants to get into, who wants to do programming for their jobs. But this also applies to anyone who wants to make indie games in the future and work with collaborative teams on software. Even for artists, right? Knowing GitHub is pretty much essential. All right, so there's a little bit about the structure. Teams of any size can join, and this is including solo. So if you want to pitch an idea, and it's just you who wants to work on it, that's totally fine. But we do have an opportunity for you to find other people to work with you. Teams will have a game design producer, and this is kind of these two roles are kind of essential for carrying out the kind of core teachings of the workshop. So the game designer being charged of the play testing, and the producer being charged of managing the team. We will talk more about that as time goes on. Timeline. So this is kind of how the workshop will be set up. So we have a setup phase, which is pretty much getting the ball rolling, and that's including this meeting. This is the introduction meeting. We'll have 3 other meetings, which will just really be about kind of setting you up for success. And then after that is the advising phase, which is it's pretty much you guys are working, and we're just keeping an eye on you and helping you out. And then, like I said earlier, tools will be teaching GitHub and Trello. So those are the tools we'll be teaching. Okay, expectations. So I listed out the member and host expectations. Here I wrote, members must be able to dedicate time each week to work on the game. However, the minimum amount of hours is determined by the team. We put this in here just to say, hey, if you want to be part of the workshop, we expect you to put time into making the game, because we're going to put time into helping you. However, we're not forcing you to have, to put an X amount of hours each week. That's up for your team to decide. That's not on us. All we want to see is that you're working on a game and you're making progress. We do want you to come to the workshop meetings. It's mainly the first four, which are the setup ones, which are essential. And then that you follow the code of conduct as well. We have a code of conduct for teams that you can read. We have that posted somewhere. Hosts, on the other hand, must aid teams in understanding the best practices that we teach. and it's on us to kind of help you guys with this workshop. We also can help resolve any kind of team conflicts. So sometimes this happens where the kind of team composition isn't like going great. There's some arguments, different expectations. Just like sometimes that happens, and we can kind of help you guys from an outside perspective, kind of resolve your issue, help resolve any kind of tension, if that is, and of course, hosts also have to follow the code of conduct. All right. We actually did this. This is not the first time we did this. We did this as a pilot program during the summer, last summer. And these were the 4 games that came out of it. One of them is actually a 3D game, Burn in the Abyss, full 3D really. And they had a bunch of artists, many if not all from the animation program, and then 2 programmers. So this was a really awesome, it was really cool to see animation students and CS majors and other majors kind of working together. And this was a pretty cool, ambitious game. You played as a rabbit. Via Light was also a cool game. So the characters are actually 3D with 3D animations, and then this kind of 2D world. Again, they had a lot of Shrunken Headman artists. And then Space Trader and Algae Bandits were more smaller scale 2D games. Space Trader being a solo. So solo developers definitely can make it. And Algae Bandit had a small team as well. And yeah, it was really exciting. I do have some more to say, but is there any questions so far about what I've covered?
And can you clarify how is this taking place? How do people get into this?
Can you say that again?
Can you clarify how a person could join the workshop?
Oh, yeah, I will go into that process in a second. Is there any other questions?
If y'all got questions about anything at all, really, not just the workshop, but general club structure and stuff, could hear those out.
Isn't the Q&A session usually at the end?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to kind of make sure we're on the same page so far.
Okay.
Before I kind of get into how, like, I'll have another Q&A at the end for general. Yeah, sorry, I should have said that too. At the end, there'll be a general Q&A for.
Is there like a frequency of the workshops that you're plotting out on the calendar, or is it like
the meetings?
Yeah. How far apart will they be?
Oh, so the first 4 meetings, which is one we're having right now, will be throughout September. So yeah, every the next 3 meetings will be workshop meetings, and I'll explain more about that as well.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna move on. Cool. What's next? Any of you can pitch your own game idea. You can pitch whatever you want. Yeah, when are you guys gonna get an opportunity like that? So next week we will be hosting a pitch session. You literally just come in and you have an idea that you want to do, or you have an existing idea. That's fine too. Whatever you want to pitch, you can come pitch it and possibly, get a team around it. And I'll explain how that kind of works. So if you do want to pitch your game idea, this is pretty much how this is one of the ways you join the workshop, is you pitch an idea and people join you. The other way is you join someone else's pitch. I'll talk about that in the end. But yeah, so if you do want to do that, you can spend this week forming a pitch idea. And yeah, everyone will pitch their idea at the next meeting, and we'll form teams around those ideas. So that's how everyone's going to form teams. This works really well in Discord. Basically, at the end of pitches, there's like a bunch of breakout rooms, and you guys like kind of all talk about the different ideas. And it's a great way to like you're meeting a bunch of people, and eventually you kind of form a team, and then those become like your buddies. It's really cool. That's what happened in the summer, and it worked very well. So for specific requirements for anyone who's looking for that, it should convey the gameplay and art style. So what is the player doing, and then what kind of art style you want. Yeah, and then the pitch should be 3 to 5. Look out for that, but expect 3 to 5 minutes. And in your pitch, you should say that whether you want to join the workshop or not, because we will also be allowing other teams who are not part of the workshop to pitch our idea. Okay, I have some tips for pitching. So, when you're coming up with your game idea, know your skill level and time commitment. How much experience do you have making games, and can you finish this? This is kind of we're not going to stop you from pitching on whatever you want, but do keep in mind, especially if you're starting out, you may not know. Yeah, if you're beginning out, you're not going to have that much experience. So we advise you to kind of go for a lower scope. And really, in general, try to pitch something that you can do, but also be a challenge to you. Not something that will be a 5-year-long journey. And it's good to describe what you expect to create when development ends. Because sometimes, because what will happen is, you'll start with a game idea, and then months later, you have to scope down sometimes, and then it becomes smaller than what you have. That's fine. It's good to know. It's good to know for yourself, also for people who may want to join your pitch. What do you want to have at the end? Do you want to have a finished game, or do you want to have a demo of a bigger game? Right. A good pitch is going to clearly convey what the player is doing. And this is kind of referencing to the gameplay. What is the player doing? That's what's going to excite anyone who wants to join. And then, again, you never know what's going to happen when you put your idea out there. So, if you don't think it's good enough, well, I say pitch anyways, because, whether you get backing on this idea, it's a good way to practice your pitching skills. We had that actually. Again, it's totally optional. You really don't have to join the work. If you want to work on your own game just by yourself and show up to showcases, that's totally cool. Again, this workshop is for anyone who wants some more support from more experienced members in the game development club when making their game. So this is, again, I've restated the requirements if anyone wants to take a note on that. And so for the next coming weeks, so next week we'll be pitching your idea. Literally, come in with any idea. And that's how we'll form teams. September 10th, which is the next week, by then, teams will be formed and announced for the workshop. And we'll hold a prototyping activity, and that's going to kind of get your guys' brains running on the importance of prototyping, why you should prototype, why you should play test. Also, what should you prioritize when making your game, and what ideas in the gameplay are most important. We'll also be introducing the game designer role. And then afterwards, we'll start teaching about tools and getting the producer, and then eventually reviewing, kind of make sure everyone's on the same page. But, we'll get to that when we get to the week. All right. Oh, that's my last slide. Okay. All right. That is the workshop. Again, it's totally optional to join us. We hope to get at least 3 teams. I think that would be awesome. And yeah, is there any questions?
Yeah, you said you guys are gonna meet up next meeting. When is that?
Yeah. So all our meetings are Thursday at 7:30. So usually our workshop. So every meeting is gonna have like one activity, and which is generally an hour long. And so the workshop meetings will start like around 8, and they'll go to 9. And again, these next 3 weeks are just build up, like setting you up for success. And you just start after September. You guys are just kind of on your own time with whatever time you have. You know, you're ready to game.
I'm just wondering, when is the next showcase? It might be too early of a question to ask, but I'm just wondering.
I don't know actually the calendar date. I think that might be a question for Edward. But I imagine in October.
We're structuring our club so that like the next 3 or 4 weeks is mostly workshop activities because it's going to be a little bit front loaded, so we avoid midterms. Showcasing is kind of more like a maintenance thing that as we're in the midst of the semester, we kind of do it just as checkups. And so that'll maybe be in earliest October. So you don't have to worry about it right now.
All right, thanks.
And I have a question as well. How long is the workshop? Would it be like 1 semester or 2?
I see. So it restarts every semester. Now, if you start this semester and want to work for your game on a year want to work on your game for a year, that's fine. Like you just rejoin the club next semester. Of course, we'll have the same setup meetings in the spring, but that's really going to be for anyone new who wants to join the workshop. Yeah, you can work on the game as long as you want, really.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I know some people got questions.
And any of y'all ever played Dino Hunt 2?
Dino Hunt?
Yeah, Dino Hunt 2. It's a great game. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna post it in I think it's a
Any
great
of you
game.
ever play Raid Shadow Legends?
The in and out, though. Exactly.
Okay, do you have any questions?
I mean, if you haven't downloaded that game by now, why do you even have a phone if not to play Raid Shadow Legends?
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that.
Amen to that.
Okay, do you have any questions related to... So the questions are related to our club activities and the workshop?
Just, how long should the showcase last again?
Our showcases? Well, that depends on how many people show the games. I mean, generally you get, 10, 15 minutes.
Alright, thanks.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Marco. I'm just
Hello.
I'm the event coordinator, and I mean, we already have some things somewhat planned for events people to meet later in the semester, but I was wondering if anyone had suggestions as well of things they would like to see or companies to work with or do events with. If you have any suggestions, feel free to just message me, let me know. We'll see what we could do either, late in the semester or maybe next semester. If that's something you'd be interested in, just let me know.
Yeah. I want to see a Kojima guest speaker.
Oh, of course, yes.
All right. I mean, that's pretty much I have all for the workshop. I mean, keep a lookout for anything in the coming weeks on a Discord, because we'll kind of be getting stuff ready for pitches if anyone wants to pitch an idea. Oh, Raj. Oh, there's like questions in the general. Okay. So you asked if anyone can explain the experience with making a pitch. Did they find making one helpful? I can explain the experience of making a pitch. I don't understand what you mean by making one helpful. If you could elaborate on that. But so I mean, the experience with making a pitch. Sometimes making a pitch can be hard because it's like, where do I start?
I mean, I could speak to this.
Okay, yeah.
It's really how much effort you want to put into it will determine. I mean, there's like standards for like pitches and stuff, and especially if you're keeping to like 3 to 5 minutes. Like, there's things you want to include in there, especially if you want to like try to convince other people to join your team. So, just, like, there's general rules in creating one, so it's not too crazy.
So essentially, you're just marketing your idea and trying to get teammates. You could make your game.
I would generally say yes, it is really helpful to practice making a pitch, especially if it's a PowerPoint, because during the workshop, we had like some of our coolest ideas were like people who prepared really elaborate like PowerPoint presentations about like the mood boards or like just the general theme and ideas of their games, like what the inspiration of it would be and stuff. And that helps give like a really good picture of what you want. Whereas other people like me, I kind of just winged it and just like tossed in my game and said like, I don't know, I just want to do something. And like, obviously one idea is much more receptive than others. So it helps a lot when you prepare.
Yeah, go for something that you want to do. And I know a lot of us, you know, we play AAA games, so we're playing like first-person shooters and RPGs, which, of course, they are ambitious to make, especially as a beginner, but even as a lone indie developer. So you know, there's also a challenge of, well, what do I like about an FPS game or RPG game, and how can I break that down into a simple idea? Right, and that's why I always ask, you know, what is the player doing? Because if you do break it down to kind of the abstract idea, it's easier to reform it into a game that you are passionate about, but is also doable with your experience. A lost egg roll asks, what's the difference between artist and designer? That's a good question. So, you know, in terms of the workshop, artist is good. Well, actually, Jessica, do you want to talk about the artist role? Generally? Are you there, Jessica? Okay, maybe not. Well, so the artist is going to range from...
Oh, I'm here. Sorry about that.
That was okay. Yeah, you want to talk about the artist? I can talk about the designer.
I guess you could talk about the designer first, so you clarify that.
Oh, okay, sure. So designer, we have in the workshop a game designer, and it's kind of a secondary role. Because, you know, someone might be a programmer or artist, but they'll also be a game designer as their secondary role. It's just kind of a slightly added responsibility. But the game designer is really, to put it shortly, the advocate for the player. They're thinking about the player. You know, what is the feedback? They're listening to the player. What is the player saying? What are they doing in the game? And investigating any kind of problems they have, and then bringing that to the team as kind of as questions, critical questions like, hey, you know, the player doesn't like this, or or they keep doing this and it's ruining their experience, you know, or they're getting lost. And you know, through extensive playtesting, which is what the game designer is in charge of, you can kind of build your game to be more enjoyable. How about you, Jessica? You want to talk about the artists?
Well, basically, you just try to create designs for both like the background, environments, props, and characters. And usually there's a separate task for there's a visual artist and animators. Animators will be the one who will be creating like the walking and the attack. And also some enemy animation as well, like how they stab and stuff. Does anyone else have questions?
Yeah, Raj. I hope I'm saying your name right. Raj has answered another question about making groups.
Oh.
I'm reading it right now. I see. So you're talking about I think what you're saying, right, is when forming groups, you say you're not really great at focusing things, and that might be I'm thinking on like taking on responsibility or being accountable. Is you kind of correct yourself in your last sentence. Yeah. So I mean, being a part of the team in the workshop, we do want you to be working on your game. It's in terms of responsibility that you have towards the team and to making the game. That's up for the team, for you guys to decide. It's kind of that's your little group. That's your group. You decide how many hours you want to put in. So you set those expectations clear, and there's no like, there's no arguing later, I guess. So yes, I guess the short answer is yeah. If you're on a team, it's expected that you're here because you want to make a game. If you're worried about being too responsible because maybe you don't have maybe that much free time, that's totally fair. Or if you're worried about being accountable, that's fine. You just got to be open with your team about that. I hope that answers your question. Yeah. And that's why also, I guess to piggyback, that's why we always push for smaller games, because, well, we all going to school and working and doing a bunch of other stuff, probably other clubs as well, right? And so it's best to have small games that are manageable. Do you have to be in the animation illustration program to be an artist? I am in DMA. Oh, I am too. And I really enjoy the art and design. No, you don't have to be in the animation and illustration program. No, we welcome anyone. We need artists and programmers. I'm a programmer, and I was a sound designer for my last game I worked on. So, as game designers, you're filling roles. You fill what you can. So, no.
Yeah, it's pretty normal to like fill like other roles as well. You're going to be like wearing many hats.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty normal to actually like say like, oh, we need someone right away for this. Oh, can you do this? And then you'll be learning things on the spot.
Hello, I came in late. What would I miss? Are we in Q&A mode?
Yeah. Do you have a question?
Do I have a question? Yes. Are you in any other clubs other than game dev?
I am. I am in the fencing club, and I'm in the. Are you trying to
You can answer that however you
I'm
want.
also
Cole.
in the Cadre Student Organization, which is a club for DMA artists.
I see. You must be really good at fencing.
Yes.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, I think this. I mean, this will be a great opportunity for anyone who, especially in our pandemic, who wants to get to know people or who wants to kind of make some friends and work and make something that is enjoyable to others. Right? That's what games are. So yeah, join the workshop. We will help you form teams, and you'll meet some friends. I've met a lot of friends already in this club that I still make games with today. Because I know I'm a shy person, and it was a lot easier for me to collaborate with people to socialize and get friends.
I share in that sentiment as well.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of people typing in general.
Yeah, if you want to type any questions, guys, you go feel free.
If you guys want to put...
Go on, Cole.
Oh, sorry.
If you guys want your questions to be read out, put Andy with a colon, and I'll read it.
Oh, you wanna read out the questions? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. If somebody wants me to do that, they can just put Andy.
Oh yeah, sure. And then Mr. President, I think that's pretty much all we had in terms of presentation, right, for today?
Yep. It was mostly just presentation today. So, if y'all have any more questions, then.
Oh, yeah, you can arrive late next week. We understand that everyone has commitments to their classes, and you're welcome to show up whenever. Most of the time when the club ends, people still stay around and linger anyways, so the normal end time is usually 9, but people stay later anyways. And you're welcome, and we'll fill you in. Like, if you come in late, some officers will probably still be here, and we'll fill you in.
Right. So I think we're done with Q&A at this point, right?
Well, I was gonna say like anyone isn't obligated to stay, but we'll be here for any other questions.
Oh yeah, sure. So I guess just to reiterate real quick, that's basically what we are. Our info meeting. And next week we'll be doing our pitch meeting essentially. So if you guys have like any idea, really, we'll be providing a sign up link soon. And you can just sign up, and then around the same time next week we'll be starting our pitch meetings. If you're coming in late, then you can just sign up for like a time slot that's a little bit later on. And yeah, it'll be a more social gathering next week, I think. So be sure to join us, even if you're not thinking of pitching an idea yourself. If you're interested in like anything, any group work, participating in our workshop, be sure to join us. And yeah, I guess that's about it. That's all we got presented for you guys. I hope it wasn't too much.
Before we go, is there any new developer? Are there any new developers?
Can you say that again? You kind of cut off a bit. Is there any new developers?
Hold on. Are there any new developers in here?
Oh, like new game developers?
Totally new.
Yes.
If you're new to game dev,
I don't know, make a little emote in the Discord if you want to.
I'm already ahead of you, bro. Game dev. React to this if you are new to game dev.
Yeah. And I get to piggyback off of Edward, especially if anyone is new, or just trying to learn anyways. Yeah, getting in teams is the best way, because you are, in a way, there's kind of a shared responsibility. between everyone, right? And everyone's kind of checking on each other, and you're doing it together, and you're more likely to finish the game, rather than doing it by yourself, which requires a lot of self-discipline.
Yeah, if you're completely new to game dev and you feel overwhelmed by like all this information and joining a team and making this big game, we do provide videos on how to make a simple breakout game if you know what it is. It's like just balls bouncing around and breaking blocks. And if you're interested in that, you can let me know and we'll teach you how to use the basics of Unity and basically just a basic idea of how to use Unity and how to code in Unity as well. If you're interested, just let me know.
Let all of us know. We will help you choose. We will help you. We will teach you how to develop games.
I'm actually new to 3D video games. I've only done like 2D mobile games so far. Do you guys also help in that?
In 3D development for games?
Yeah.
Partially. A lot of us, many of the officers actually have created some 3D games. Edward, and I'm looking at you. I wouldn't say that we have a lot of 3D, but we have done it before, and we can most certainly offer you a lot of advice and resources towards how to do that. Like, Unity is actually better for 3D, so, well, you know, right? But yes, we will help you. We will regardless help you.
Oh, great. Thank you.
I think 3D is easier than 2D.
No, curse you. I refuse to believe that.
So far, I'm having a hard time with 3D.
I agree with Edward.
Curse you.
Yeah, I will say me and Thomas are pretty knowledgeable in Unity, especially with 3D. We do have a member, Kevin, who's not here, but he knows a lot about Unreal Engine. So if you kind of want to get into that, and yeah, most of our members kind of use Unity. But yeah, if you want support in any of those engines, let us know.
Oh, great. Yeah, I also work with Unity, but I've never done 3D. Like, I don't even know how to import the 3D files and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's good stuff.
Oh, we can show you that. That's actually kind of easy.
Oh, great.
Kinda. Yeah. I'll say kinda, because what's easy for us could be hard for someone else, so I don't want to.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
What I'll miss. Breakout signatures one. Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to force anyone to like stay, but at this point, we usually hold our meetings from like 7:30 to 10, at least in person. That's how it works. And usually the latter half is just people chilling, and so we still want to be able to facilitate that feeling. But obviously, in an online format, it's a little different. That idea of just hanging out after like all the info dump. So at this point, if you guys like have better things to do, you're welcome to leave and just like go about your days. But a few of us are thinking of impulsively doing some sort of game night, and so we're debating if that's interesting to any newcomers or people now.
The debate. There's a debate?
Yeah, we're debating on a game.
We're not doing Mad vs. City.
So if that sounds cool to you guys, just start spitballing some like games that you might be interested in playing.
I'm totally down.
Yeah, Among Us. I don't even know.
Oh my god, I wish we could all play Among Us.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
I'll play what?
Among Us.
Oh, Among Us.
Among Us is great.
Oh yeah, I actually have that.
But we have too many people.
Yeah.
Jackbox.
Should we all get Fall Guys and?
Oh god.
PlayStation?
Oh, is it only on PlayStation?
No, it's on PC.
Hey.
Wait, why not both?
It's $20.
If we have enough people.
Apex Legends?
Oh god,
Wait,
Yeah, let's do a tournament with Apex right now.
Wait, can
No,
we
you know
actually set up our own
what?
tournament?
Let's do a giant Pokemon Showdown tournament right now.
Because couldn't we do that?
Which Pokemon?
Completely
Which Pokemon?
random Gen 7.
Hell yeah.
Which is Gen 7? Dude, you gotta name I have
That's
a lot
No,
of
yeah,
not
what-
Gen 7.
what a
Gen,
moon.
whatever Gen we're in right now. Random battles.
So-
No, okay, I don't have that.
Alright, I'm fine with that.
Okay, everybody get on Pokemon Showdown. We're doing that.
Hold it. If you are going to do Pokemon Showdown, please head to Game Room 01 so that other people who want to play other games can play those other games in
Should
another
I stop
room.
recording?
Yes.
Alright.
Wait, what if somebody cheats on the game?